thank you to everybody that's on the call who took the time to join. I'm super excited that we get to practice together. We're in Taos, New Mexico right now, and we've been here pretty much since March 12th when the pandemic hit. We were here for spring break, so this is sort of the spring break that never ended for us. And yeah, it's just really good to be here with you. So thank you for joining us, wherever you are, through technology. It's also, I haven't really been teaching that much. I certainly haven't taught much other than this Power Vinyasa flow that I've been teaching to our trainees. So today's a little bit of me stepping outside of my comfort zone, teaching over the internet, teaching a sequence that I haven't taught in a while. And that ties in really good to the theme today. This is a heart-opening class. And the theme is about being vulnerable, allowing yourself to let the walls around your heart down and be vulnerable. And that can be really scary sometimes. And so I want to tell a story about our relationship, and I asked her permission first. So, and Albina shares about our relationship in class sometimes.
I'm terrified.
I'm terrified too. And so
Which part?
when we were dating, we had what I would call, what would you call it, rocky, roller coaster-esque, passionate, but like a lot of heartbreak, a lot of struggle. It just was not easy at first. We made it difficult, I think. And I think part of what made it difficult is, honestly, I know for me personally, wasn't really letting her see who I really was. I put on a facade, I put on a facade of like being really cool, really intelligent, really like having great taste in art and music and literature and all these things that like things I genuinely like, but that became sort of my persona. But I didn't let her see like the parts of me that I was afraid she wouldn't like, And so I think she told me she did the same thing. The thing I was going for, it was like the worldly, super educated, kind of sarcastic, judgmental is how that showed up sometimes of other people's tastes or whatever. And hers was like, I'm going to be mysterious. And, I'm the mysterious woman from Kazakhstan. She didn't really let me get to know her either. And the problem with that is then, we couldn't really fall in love in the way that would like be lasting because we were putting out a version of ourselves that was invulnerable, that was like trying to be perfect or better than, or just not letting ourselves really be seen. And I remember we broke up. I won't get into how we broke up, but for the first time in my life, instead of going out immediately and trying to numb out or party or whatever, I used to subscribe to the, there's this band, the Minutemen, and one of their songs is Maybe Partying Will Help, and I was kind of like, would do that. And so my natural thing would have been to go out and party, hang out with my friends, and try not to feel the heartache. But for the first time, I had been practicing yoga, and for the first time I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to actually feel what it feels like to not have her presence in my life. And it felt really terrible. I felt super heartbroken. I felt really sad, lonely. All these things were coming up. And there was this urge to just numb it or to go get busy or to hang out with my friends and forget about it. And I just stayed with it. And I thought, oh, surely this is going to pass. But it didn't. It kept actually increasing. And I realized, like, oh, it really sucks not to have her in my life. So I called her about 6 weeks after, and I was like terrified because I didn't know what was happening in her life at this point. When I couldn't take it anymore, I called her and I said, hey, look, I don't know what you've got going on, but I really want to talk to you and hope that like you have some space for me left in your life. And she said, well, I am dating somebody, but I will come and talk to you. And that's when I just kind of laid it all out. Like, I'm crazy about you. I miss you. And it was only when I was really willing to let my guard down were we able to move forward and to come into what we're at? Here we are 15, this is like 17 years later, and I feel like it's still a process of letting our guards down and letting ourselves be seen. And
maybe it's been 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. So the point is that in order to have real human connection, in order to really fall in love, to connect with people, to make good friendships, you have to be willing to have the courage to let yourself be seen. And part of that is letting the walls down, the guards down around your heart. So today when we practice, the work is in every pose to soften around your heart. And even practice in a way that, since you're not in a yoga room, maybe you usually practice in a way that like you're kind of concerned to how it looks, right? Well, right now you don't have to be, because no one will be looking at you. Yeah, so it's a heart opening class. So let's start just in simple seated position, and bring your hands in Anjali Mudra. That's like a prayer hands. And then there's this lotus mudra where you keep your pinky finger and your thumb pressed together, and you spread out all the other fingers, and you can close your eyes. And this mudra is connected to your heart chakra. It's about the lotus slowly opening up, allowing your heart to open, which is different than forcing it to be open. Breathe down into your heart. And just invite it to open, like the lotus flower. Through the muck of whatever has been there before, like telling yourself that someone won't love you for some weird thing about you or something you've been through, up into a gentle opening. May we use this practice to open our hearts. All right. And then slowly blink open your eyes. Half lotus, shin bound spinal twist. And you will have to mirror this one. Bring your left leg out in front of you and bring your right foot either into half lotus, or if half lotus is not accessible to you, then you can just bring it on the inside of your leg like Albin is doing now. If you're feeling more open, then it's half lotus. Then bring your opposite arm across and reach for your shin or your foot. The extended leg arm, reach around behind your back, and you can catch a hold of your yoga pants. You can catch a hold of your shin. That's why it's called shin bound spinal twist, or just anything that you can get a hold of. Relax your neck down by your shoulder. Exhale everything out. Root down into your sitting bones. Feel plugged in. And then inhale, feel for expansion in the top of your heart. Exhale, let your head hang down by your shoulder. And you can rock side to side. Albina's rocking a little bit. Make your feet active. Betsy, turn your left collarbone up to the sky a little bit more. Yeah, now relax your neck. Let it hang down. And when your head is relaxed, now maybe you can soak breath down into your heart. Take a breath right down into your heart. Annie, relax your neck even more. Good. Exhale and feel for your heart softening. Any amount. Active feet. Spread your toes really wide. And when you wake up your feet, it gives you support. Draw your low belly back. Inhale and stretch long through your top ribs. Exhale, ease both shoulders down your back. And very lovingly release that. Come out, sit up, take a breath in. And relax, breath out. Switch legs. Right leg out, left leg in. Reach your left arm around behind your back, and then reach your right arm behind your back, and reach your left arm to the outside of your right leg. It can be on your shin, or you can reach your foot, or just anywhere you can touch. It's not so much about the twist. This is more about the side bend. So don't worry about getting too twisted up. Exhale and press your sitting bones down to the mat. Find earth. Inhale and unravel the front of your body. Lift up your chest, lift up your heart. Exhale, relax your bottom ear toward your shoulder. Inhale into your top collarbone and lift it up toward the sky. Exhale, hang your head down heavier. And notice if you have any gripping in your jaw, your throat. Michelle, lift your heart up away from your hips. Yeah, without lifting your head. Keep your torso long. Good. Keep that now. And then ease your neck down toward your bottom shoulder. There you go. Awesome. You can rock a little bit side to side. And when you do that, you might find that it frees up spaces in your low back, lets you soften your jaw. When my head is tilted to the side, I feel like I can sneak breath into the sides of my heart, down into the wings of my heart. Do that. Feel for soaking breath down to the sides of your heart, expanding your ribs to the sides. Exhale, feel for softening your jaw, your throat, your tongue. And then unwind all that joy, untwist. Shake out your legs. Get excited for some ab work, elbow to knee. Lie down your back. And then bring your knees directly over your hips and your heels in line with your knees. So 90-degree angles with your legs. Interlace your fingers behind your head and neck. Point your elbow tips to the sky. Make your feet active, spread your toes. Exhale, press your low back down into the ground. Flatten your low back out. Clearly, lower your heels down a little bit in line with your knees. Inhale, curl your head and shoulders up. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up by pressing your low back down. Exhale, both elbows to your right thigh. Stretch your left leg up. Pull low belly down. Stay here. Curl tailbone up a second time by pressing your low back down. Tweeze your left sitting bone in. Pull low belly down. Inhale, back to center, knees together, upper body up. Hold the breath, curl tailbone, exhale both elbows, left thigh, right leg out. Spread your toes, pull low belly down. Curl tailbone up a second time. Tweeze your right sitting bone into the midline. Pull low belly down. Inhale, knees together, lift head and shoulders up. Hold your breath, press low back down, curl tailbone. Exhale both elbows, right thigh, left leg out. Pull low belly down at the end of the exhale. Curl tailbone up, down, up a second time. Tweeze your left sitting bone in. Pull low belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold breath. Press low back down, curl tailbone. Exhale both elbows to your left thigh. Right leg out. Lift your chin. Pull low belly down. Press low back down, curl tailbone up a second time. Tweeze your right sitting bone into the midline. Pull low belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold breath. Press low back down to curl your tailbone. Exhale, both elbows, right thigh. Stretch your left leg out. Pull low belly down. Curl tailbone up a second time. Tweeze your left sitting bone into the midline. Pull belly to earth. Inhale, back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone. Exhale, both elbows to your right thigh. Left leg out. Pull low belly down. Curl tailbone up a second time. Tweeze your sitting bone into the midline. Pull belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone. Exhale, both elbows to your right thigh, left leg out. Pull low belly down. Curl tailbone a second time. Tweeze left sitting bone into the midline. Pull the pit of your belly down to the mat. Inhale, back to center. Spread your feet, curl tailbone. Exhale, both elbows to your right thigh, left leg out. Left thigh, right leg out. Pull belly down. Curl tailbone up a second time by pressing your low back down. Tweeze your right sitting bone into the midline. Pull the pit of your belly down to the earth. Inhale, come back to center. Hold breath, curl tailbone. Exhale, both elbows, right thigh, left leg out. Spread all of your toes and pull the pit of your belly to the earth. Lift your chin. Curl tailbone up a second time. Tweeze left sitting bone in the midline. Pull the pit of your belly down. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, put your feet down. Put your head down. Oh, full body stretch. Stretch your arms out long, stretch your feet out long. Feel all that energy that you've got swirling around in your core. Enjoy that. And now some more abs. You might want to watch Albina. This is called frog lifting through. So you might just want to turn your head toward the screen before you start. So knees are over her hips, and then she's flexing her toes back. So she's making 90-degree angles. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Just watch her. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel, not your thighs, but just your pubic bone. So her thighs are not moving toward her chest very much. Pull low belly down. Inhale, set pelvis down. Exhale, curl pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out through your legs. Pull belly down. Okay, that's how you do it. All right, so you get into it. Bring your knees up over your hips. Bring your knees in line with your hips. Feet in line with your knees. Interlace your fingers the non-habitual way behind your head. Yep. If you have a tweaky low back, you can place your feet on the wall like Albina's doing. Set your pelvis down. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Exhale, curl pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out energetically through your inner and outer thighs. Reach out through your heels, pull belly down. Inhale, set your pelvis down. Keep your upper body up. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out through your inner thighs. Send your heels just a little bit away from your face. Pull belly down. Inhale, set pelvis down. Curl head and shoulders up a little higher. Lift your chin. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel. It's a very subtle move. Reach out through your inner legs. Spread your toes. Pull low belly down. Inhale, set pelvis down. Lower your head and shoulders a 1/4 inch. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out through your inner thighs. Pull the pit of your belly to the earth. Set pelvis down. Inhale, take a deep breath through your heart down into your pelvis. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out energetically through your thighs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, curl your head and shoulders up a little higher. Lift your chin. Exhale, curl your pubic bone toward your navel. Reach out through your inner thighs. Pull low belly down. Inhale, set your head down. Take your hands to the outside of your legs. Exhale, bring your legs back together. Woo! That wakes up all the stuff down in your pelvis and your core. And when you get your core really supported, supporting your opening of your heart, then your heart can open more freely. Okay, actually roll to one side and watch Albina for a second. You're going to do supported bridge with half Virasana. This is where you have a block. You should use it now, but watch Albina for now. This is supported bridge with half Virasana. She's going to come up into bridge, placing the block the tall way under her sacrum. If that's too tall, you can make it the middle way. And then she's going to take one foot and bring it into half hero's pose. Her toes are pointed and tucked under, stretching out through her lifted thigh. Okay, you do that now. If you don't have a block, then you can still do this, or you can just stay in bridge. Bring the block, get your feet in bridge so that your longest finger can touch your heels. Then inhale, curl your pelvis up, curl your heart up. Take the block and bring it under the top rim of your sacrum. That's the bony triangle at the end of your spine. Bring it to the top rim of your sacrum and then set your sacrum back down on it so that it's supported. Inhale, lift up from behind your heart. Exhale, curl your pubic bone a little bit toward your navel and reach out through your thighs. Press down into your inner feet. Spread all of your toes and lift them. Half Virasana. Move your right foot just a little bit toward the center, and then bend your left knee. Take your left hand and curl your toes under, reaching out through your left thigh. There you go. And it might feel really intense on your foot. And if you feel any pain in your back, you may need to readjust the block so you're supported. If you're not on a block, you may just stay in bridge. Inhale, soak breath into the sides of your heart and lift and spread your ribs toward your nose. Exhale, reach out through your left thigh. Feel for the energy running and zinging all along your left side body. Soak a breath right up under your collarbones and feel for your collarbones spreading. Exhale, feel for softening around the top of your heart. Press into your inner standing foot, your right foot, even more. Unwind your left leg and place it down. That'll be your supporting leg now. And take your right hand and bring your right foot in half hero so that your toes are actually facing back toward your face on your right leg, and you're reaching through your right thigh. You may have to adjust your left foot in some way so you don't feel off balance. It may have to go wider, it may have to go narrower, but let your strong left leg support the opening of your heart and your low back. Inhale, soak breath into the bones right at the top of your heart. Feel for your heart opening at the top. Exhale, feel for softening your jaw, your throat, your tongue. Because you have support, this is a perfect time to really focus on breathing into your heart. When my heart is guarded, it feels like really tight, and it feels like I'm contracting around my heart. This could be in a moment to let your guard down. What would that feel like in your heart? Sometimes it just feels like softening my jaw and throat so that the breath can really get into my heart. Soften your jaw and throat. Feel for softening around your heart, your jaw, your throat. And release. Place both feet on the floor, and to come out, inhale, lift your heart and your hips up. Take the block out. Then bring your upper back down, curl your pubic bone to your navel. Then mid back down, curling your pubic bone. Then low back down. Take a big breath in. Exhale, feel for letting it go. Roll toward the screen and sit up and watch Albina for the next two moves. So the first is Dolphin Prelude. Dolphin Prelude looks a little bit like Child's Pose and a little bit like Dolphin. She's first going to measure her elbow distance by clasping on upper arms. Then interlace your fingers, and now she's walking her knees back. Elbows are on the ground, and then she's stretching her hands back toward her shoulders, like overhead, like a curl, of a bicep curl. If you don't feel anything in that, then what you would do is walk your knees back a little further. Okay, so come out of that. Now just watch the next move too. So the next move is from Dolphin coming into Flash Prep to Dorsal Fin. So Flash Prep is you come into Dolphin and then you move one arm back. Go ahead and come into Dolphin. She'll move one arm back, and it's right elbow under shoulder. Hug your elbow in. Notice the stacking of elbow and wrist. Then the opposite leg will go up. You can stay right there. That's a great place to play with. A middle ground is to catch your hand behind your back. Play with that. So left hand goes behind your back. Mm-hmm. Or bend your knee and catch your foot. If you catch your foot, then you lift your thigh. Now the trick is, can you relax your neck? Oh, good job. Albina makes it look easy. And release. Thank you, yoga model Albina. All right, Dolphin Prelude is first. You got lots of cheers over here, Albina. Dolphin Prelude is first. Interlace your fingers, measuring your elbow distance, like Dolphin, and then walk your knees back. Then sink your hips back. They'll be kind of up in the air. And then, if it feels okay, bend your elbows, keeping your elbows on the ground. And start to bring your arms overhead. If you don't feel any stretch under your arms, you might walk your knees back a little bit. If you feel too much stretch, walk your knees forward. Take a big inhale into your upper back and widen your shoulder blades and wrap them around toward your armpits. Exhale and feel for moving your hips back and a big, delicious stretch in your shoulders, the back of your heart, the sides of your heart. Soak breath in. So this is an active pose. It's not like child's pose in that way. There's a lot going on here. Let your armpits lift toward the sky gently. Feel for a big, juicy opening around your shoulders, shoulder blades, upper arms, upper back. To come out of the pose, place your forearms back on the ground. Walk your knees forward. Okay. Dolphin to flash prep to dorsal fin. I'll talk you through each phase. In dolphin, you can either interlace your fingers or make your forearms parallel. Inhale, balloon into your upper back and wrap your shoulders. Exhale, straighten your legs. Into dolphin, your head is off the ground. You might want to walk your feet a little bit closer toward your face and pike your hips up. There you go. Relax your neck. You can stay right there. That's a great place to work on building shoulder strength, opening up your shoulders or upper back. If you want a little more excitement today, strongly wrap your right shoulder and slide your left hand back until it's under your elbow. Tweeze your elbow in. If you want a little more excitement, step your left foot a little to the center and raise your right leg up. Yes. If you want even more excitement, bend your lifted leg and reach your left hand and try to catch your foot. Or if that's not happening, you can rest your hand at your back. Good job, Annie. There you go, Carrie. If you catch your foot, amazing. If you don't catch your foot, it's still amazing. If you fall over, it's still amazing. Now, can you do all that and breathe into your heart? That's really advanced yoga. It is possible. Okay, you fall, great. Come on down. And you can come all the way down in between sides. Reset. Let's do the other side. Yay, I love my other side. Forearms parallel. Inhale. Big ballooning into upper back. Spread your ribs. Spread your shoulder blades. Exhale, straighten your legs. Pull your low belly in to support the lifting of your hips. Reach your heels to the mat. You can stay there. Or if you want more excitement in your life, wrap your left shoulder, slide your right hand back until it's right under your elbow. Tweeze it in. Then left leg floats up to the sky. Then maybe you reach your right hand and catch your left foot, the lifted leg. If you catch your foot, then lift the thigh bone to the sky. And then here's the really advanced part. No matter where you get to, can you relax your neck and breathe into your heart? Super advanced yoga, that is. Good job. And release. Come down onto your knees and sit up. You made that look so easy. Avina, show them your move. Shake your shoulders, make your duck face. That's Avina's signature move. Some of you don't have your video on. I would love to be able to see your practice so I can actually teach. All right. Sons with extra funds, come on up to the front of your mat. Standing tall with your hands at your heart. If you want to make the lotus mudra, you could, or you can be an Anjali mudra. Soft bow your head. It's finna get exciting in here. Exhale everything out and press into your inner feet. Yeah, fix your shirt, fix your pants, whatever you need to do. And then forget about it. It's just going to get messed up again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left leg back into lunge with hands down. Place your back knee down, point your toes. Use your hands to pull your heart and your ribs up away from your waist. Exhale, ease your shoulders down your back, and you can sway from side to side. So this is first one, take it easy. Press down strongly into your front heel. If your hips go below your knee, it's okay for your knee to go out past your ankle in this one. If your hips don't go below your knee, then you can keep your knee at a 90-degree angle. Otherwise, you can go deeper into your lunge. You can use your hands to traction your heart forward as you draw your hands back. Make the back of your neck long. Come back to the intent. Soak breath into your heart, maybe by softening your jaw. On your exhale, feel force softening around your heart, letting some of those walls down that maybe you built for a really good reason. But here's a safe place to practice kind of softening it. Modified chaturanga. Step your right leg back, come into plank. Then place both knees down. Slowly lower all the way down, pulling your shoulders away from the earth and away from your ears. Low cobra, point your toes, bring your hands forward of your face about 12 inches, elbows up. Keep your low ribs on the ground. Inhale and pull your ribs mostly forward along the ground and a little bit up. Soak a breath into your heart. Exhale, come down, belly in, down dog. First down dog, take a big breath in. And a big exhilarating breath out. Step your left foot between your hands for hands lunge down. Bring your back knee down, point your toes. So this first lunge can a first lunge of the day can feel pretty intense. So instead of like going hard in the paint right away, remember, this is an invitation for your body to open, an invitation for your heart to open rather than forcing it. That's a different energy, like you're inviting it open, you're enticing it to open. You can sway like Albina's doing from side to side with your hips, kind of wiggling your ribs a little, letting your body open up slowly, organically. Feel for branching open your collarbones. Exhale, soften the muscles in your mouth, your jaw, your tongue. Step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale. Press into your feet. Inhale, reach up. And as you're reaching up, lengthen your tailbone down. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Step your right foot back into arrow lunge with your hands down. This time, bring your knee down, point your toes. And once your toes are pointed, bring your back knee 1 inch off the ground maximum. Use your hands to pull your heart and your big toe away from each other. So you're pointing back energetically like an arrow with your big toe. You can stay here. If you're feeling more spicy today or you want more spice in your life, hands can go to your thigh or arms could go up to the sky. Is it possible to do that, lifting your arms, without losing the intent of being soft in your heart? Ease your shoulder blades down your back. Take a big wrap in your shoulders. Turn your pinky fingers in toward one another. Lift your heart. Exhale, ease your shoulders down your back. Hands to the mat, step back, high plank. Modified chaturanga. Place your knees down and slowly lower all the way down. Low cobra. Slide your hands forward, elbows up. Inhale and pull your heart forward and up. Exhale, down dog. Draw your low belly back. Step your right foot forward into arrow lunge. Place your back knee down. Then point your toes and lift your back knee 1/4 inch. The most important thing is your back knee is off the ground. Your hands can stay on the ground the whole time. Feel how exciting and lit up that feels. And then maybe your hands go to your thigh, and maybe your hands go to the sky. So your knee is hovering 1/4 inch off the ground. And if you want even extra excitement, engage your left glute even more and feel that big opening along the left side hip flexor. Hands down, step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out, relax your neck. Inhale, reach all the way up. Pull your low belly in, send your tailbone to the earth. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left leg back into lunge with toes curled under. So this time, bring your knee down to the ground. Keep your toes curled under. And then lift your knee 1 inch off the ground. Your hands can stay on the ground. Or your hands can go to your thigh. Or if you're feeling like, what else could I possibly do today? You can reach your arms up. If your knee went really high, lower it really low. Yeah. So even while it's really intense here, using the intensity of your legs, can you also at the same time soften around your heart? Even in those intense moments, can you learn to let your guard down to soften? Step back to high plank. You can do chaturanga or modified chaturanga, so knees can be up or down. Inhale, cobra, low cobra, or maybe you come up a little higher into up dog. Pull your shoulders onto your back. Down dog. Step your left foot forward into lunge with toes curled under. Bring your back knee down and then just lift it 2 inches off the ground. It's not very much. So maximum 2 inches, maybe even less. Pull the pit of your belly back to support you and then really dig into that front heel. Hands can be on your thigh or arms could go to the sky. So you've heard it said that yoga pose is like effort and ease. This is the perfect yoga pose to practice that because there's so much effort going on in your legs, kind of scissoring your legs in, low belly in. But then can you let your upper body be soft, effervescent, like champagne bubbles, soft. Step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out. We'll move a little bit faster. Inhale, reach all the way up. This time, instead of hands to your heart, just go all the way back down. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back to lunge back bend with hands on your sacrum. So come into lunge. Bring your back knee down, point your toes. And then bring your hands to your sacrum. You can either place your thumb at the top rim of your sacrum or you can place the base of your palm at the top of your sacrum. And then use your hands to traction your sacrum away from your low back. Inhale and lift your low back up out of your sacrum, low ribs up out of your low back. Exhale, bend your elbows back and draw your shoulders back. Feel for this big opening, both in your low back and at the top of your heart. Inhale right into the space right up under your collarbones. Exhale, feel for softening that tiny space under your collarbones, any amount. If y'all are looking way up at the sky, instead, make the back of your neck long and feel instead of sending your heart forward and up rather than your head up and back. Breathe into the bones right at the top of your chest, opening it, inviting it to open. Hands down to the mat, step back, vinyasa. You can have your knees up or down. You can do cobra, low cobra, or up dog. Inhale into a heart opener, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot forward into lunge, back bend with hands on sacrum. Back knee down. Point your toes. So same pose, different leg, may feel completely differently, and that's okay. You're not intended to be perfectly balanced and in perfect symmetry, so this side might feel different. That's okay. Really root. Imagine that your front heel is rooting down like a tree and press into the earth with your front heel. Let your hips sink down toward your front heel. Use your hands to lengthen your sacrum down. Inhale, maybe even tilt your torso forward as you lift your low back, low ribs up away from your sacrum. Exhale, soften your jaw and bend your elbows back. Feel for this big opening at the top of your heart. Catherine, lean your torso forward more, maybe even bend your front knee a little more. Yeah, now lift your heart up from that position. Step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Relax your neck right away. Inhale, reach all the way up, stretch up. Reach your tailbone down as you lift your heart up. Exhale, bow forward. Step your left leg back into easy twisting lunge. You may want to look at Albina. It's 90-degree angle with your back knee down and 90-degree angle in your front leg. Her left hand is on the ground and her right arm is up. It's not like a huge, difficult twist. It's easy twisting lunge. So back knee is down. Even if you can do a more advanced version, save that for later. We're warming up slowly. Linda, bring your back knee under your hip instead of further back. So back knee forward. Yes. Press down into your back shin and your front foot. Use that for support. Draw your left hip back slightly. Inhale, lengthen along your torso, your left ribs. Exhale, relax your left ear toward your left shoulder. Open your heart. Let your head hang heavy. Yeah, so if you never tried that before, just let your left ear dangle down. Soak breath along the right side, the top side of your neck, and into the top of your heart. Ease both shoulder blades, including that bottom shoulder blade, away from your ears to open your heart. And you can kind of rock side to side gently here. Hands down, chaturanga or modified chaturanga. Come down. Inhale, cobra, low cobra, up dog. Sure, do some extra push-ups. Why not? Shoulders back on you. Down dog. Step your left foot forward into easy twisting lunge. Your back knee comes down, and then check and see if you're 90 degrees and 90 degrees. If it's hard under your knee, you can put some padding. You can fold up the long edge of your mat. And then right hand down, left arm up. Relax your right ear toward your right shoulder. There you go, Stephanie. When you relax your neck, you have to rely on your strong legs and your core to hold you up instead of your head. Sometimes when we tense up in our neck, that's around the issue of control, right? Controlling how it looks, controlling what's going on around us, and in some way, kind of controlling how we're seen, not letting ourselves be vulnerable. The neck is the most vulnerable part of your body, but it's also the most sensitive. Feel for relaxing it so you can soften your throat and get access to your heart. Breathe down into your heart and feel for a softening. Place your hands down, step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out. Inhale, reach all the way up. Low belly in, exhale, forward fold. Lounge lunge. Step your right foot back into lounge lunge. You might want to watch Albina in lounge lunge. She's sliding her right hand forward about a foot in front of her shoulder. She's hugging. Hug your left shin in and clutch your left shin in like a teddy bear. Inhale, lengthen along the right side body and let your right ribs drape forward and up like a balloon toward your right shoulder. Let your right shoulder hike up. Exhale, reach back through your inner and outer back leg, active feet. Now relax your neck. And here you can kind of sway like a hammock, side to side if it feels good. Now they're all putting their hands behind their back. Hug your shin in instead. Yeah, there you go. Soak breath into all the little muscles and bones along your right ribs and feel for them like an accordion expanding out. Often we tighten these muscles out of fear when we hold our breath to protect ourselves. So to breathe into these spaces can be really freeing. To come out of the pose, pull your low belly in a lot, place both hands on the mat, step back, chaturanga. Vinyasa. Cobra, low cobra, up dog. Press your pinky toenails down to the mat, inner thighs up. Down dog. Step your right foot forward into lounge lunge. Bring your left hand about 12 inches straight in front of your shoulder. Then let your shoulder hike up by your ear and let your left ribs drape up by your ear. So it's kind of a moving forward and up of your ribs. Hug your right shin in with your right arm and relax your neck down toward your chest. Inhale, float your ribs up toward your armpit. Feel for expansion right around your armpit. Exhale, reach back through your inner back leg, outer back leg. And you can slowly rock side to side. You can tuck your tailbone and untuck it. When you learn to let go in this pose a little bit rather than fight it, it can feel really exquisite. But when you're kind of struggling in it, and you're fighting it, and you're kind of wrestling with the pose, then it just kind of feels gross and uncomfortable and awkward. And it might feel like that at first. Michelle, feel for letting your ribs, kind of bottom ribs, drape more like a upside down rainbow, kind of down toward the mat, and then forward toward your armpit, and then a little bit up at the armpit. Soak breath into the left side body. Release. To come out, belly in, and then step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky, like celebratory. Lift your heart. Exhale, bow forward. Step your left leg back into lunge with brain cradling. Back knee down, point your toes, and then brain cradling is just like it sounds. Interlace your fingers behind your head, right where your head connects to your neck. And then Albina, you can see she's not widening her elbows too wide. She's actually wrapping her shoulders and her elbows around the body, forearms toward your temples. Press down into your strong front leg. Inhale, lift up from behind your heart. Make the back of your neck long. Exhale, let your head drape back into your arms like you're cradling your brain like a baby. Take a big inhale into the top and back of your brain. Exhale, feel for softening your brain as if it were sands in an hourglass slipping down into your throat. And now breathe into your heart. Let the breath move into your heart. You might even lean your torso just slightly forward so that you can really get a lift from behind your heart. To come out, lower your chin, bring your hands down, step back, vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, low cobra, maybe up dog. If you're in up dog, bend your elbows a little so you can pull your heart through and up. Down dog. Step your left foot forward into lunge with brain cradling. Come into the pose. So right where your hands are, there's a place called the occiput. That's where your head connects to your neck. And just below the occiput is a place called the amygdala in your brain. That's where patterns are formed. It's also where our most reptilian, sort of oldest, least evolved part of us is. It's where we learn fear, where we hold it. And fear often keeps us from really opening our hearts. And so the way to change that pattern is to breathe into the base of your skull. Exhale, feel for softening in the base of your skull and then all the way down into the back of your heart, creating a new pattern between heart and head. So that your head is not controlling your heart, but your head is in service of your heart, which may be a whole new relationship. Leading with your heart and using your intellect, your brains, to do what's in your heart. Hands down, step forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Belly in, tailbone down. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back into lunge, heel to butt. One of my faves. If you have a tweaky knee, then you can fold. Can you show them the fold of the mat? Fold the right edge of your mat under your knee so you have padding. And then reach back with your right hand and catch your right foot. Bring it in toward your butt. If that's not happening for you, you can just do lunge with your hands down or lunge back bend with your hands on your sacrum. If you've got a hold of your foot, bring it in toward your butt. Oh, that looks really good, Michelle. You've got really open hip flexors. Nice. Everyone, inhale and lift the right side of your ribs up and out from your waist. Exhale, turn your right ribs toward your left leg and feel how exciting that is. So instead of fighting that intensity, can you breathe with it and soften around it? So that you use the intensity to open up your heart. If you want even more excitement, engage your right glute and press your toenails back into your hand. Hello. Release all that joy, unfold the right edge of your mat, step back, chaturanga. Knees can be up or down. Up dog or cobra, open up your heart. Clelia, bend your elbows. There you go. Down dog. You have another side. How exciting. Step your right foot forward into lunge, heel to butt. Fold up the left edge of your mat or pad your knee as you need to, as feels good. And this is really an opportunity to practice self-care. If you're in pain with your left knee, do something about it. There's always time to take care of yourself. Pull your left knee in toward your left butt cheek. Inhale and float your left ribs up. Exhale, ease both shoulders down your back and turn your left ribs toward your right leg. And press into your inner right foot for support. Lulu, turn your ribs toward your front leg. Instead of facing the side, face your torso to the front or fall out. One of those. Elizabeth, bend your knee, front knee more as long as it doesn't hurt your knee. And release all that joy. Step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale everything out. Relax your neck. Inhale, reach all the way up to the sky. Go up. Exhale, land your hands at your heart. Soft bow your head. If you want, you can make the lotus mudra. Check and see. This is a good time to check in. Am I softening or am I struggling? And you can always change it. That's the good news. Every breath is an opportunity to come back to the intention of softening around your heart. B series with vignettes. Our first sun salutation B. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Pull your low belly and tuck your tailbone down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Scoop your heart and widen your collarbones. Make the back of your neck long. Chaturanga. Walk back, float back, jump back. Inhale, up dog. Elbows go straight back. Broaden out your collarbones. Down dog. Step your left foot forward into Eagle Warrior One. So it's Warrior One stance. Wrap your left arm on top of your right into Eagle Arms. And then if you unbend your knee a lot, rebend your knee. Pull your left side low belly in and wrap your outer right hip forward. And then everyone inhale and lift your elbow tips forward and up, back of your heart forward and up. Exhale, lean your torso slightly forward and let your forehead rest on your arms, maybe even on your biceps. So you're relaxing your neck completely into your arms. Let your arms support your neck. Press down to the earth with your feet. When you lean your head forward, you get access to this big energy behind your heart. So breathe deeply into the space at the back of your throat, between your shoulders and behind your heart. Exhale, feel for softening the back of your heart. So in yoga, the back of the heart is known as the area in which you relate to yourself. And sometimes that part can be kind of mysterious or even painful, right? And this is a great opportunity to send loving breath right now into the back of your heart. Bathing the back of your heart in like a honey-like sweetening breath. Keep your arms as they are, eagle ostrich. Forward fold on the inside of your front leg, and you can rest your left ribs on your left thigh if you want, or if you're feeling a little more open, let your torso go all the way on the inside of your legs, maybe even your arms touch the ground. Press mightily into the insides and outsides of both feet and draw the pit of your belly to the sky to support the opening behind your heart and support your upper body. Let your upper body drape down toward the earth. Relax your neck, Kathleen. Both Kathleens. Is this intense? You're welcome. Yep. Pigeon back bend, hands on the floor. Unwind your arms and then come into pigeon with your left leg, back leg behind you. And then use your hands, this is a pigeon back bend. Traction your front shin slightly back. Use your hands to pull your heart forward and up. You're going to stay upright. Ease your shoulders down your back. So use maybe the support of pigeon now to open your heart in a way that's not struggling. You know, when you're in these lunges, sometimes there's a lot of effort. Here, allow for some ease, settling down into the mat. Then you can use your arms just like an up dog to draw your heart forward and up. Exhale, feel for softening sides of your throat, sides of your heart. Feel how good it feels to be resting instead of using your legs so much. Now you can kind of soften down to earth. Feel the contrast. Hands to the mat, step back, vinyasa with enthusiasm. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Good news, you have another side. How lucky are you? You can say inside, like, well, we won't hear you, but you can say to yourself, I love my other side. Step your right foot forward into Eagle Warrior One. This time your right arm is on top. Rebend your front knee. Yes, make it exciting, Albina. Lift your front toes. so that you have active legs. Inhale, lift up from the space right behind your heart and then the front of your heart and your elbow tips. Lift all that up. Draw low belly in. Exhale, let your forehead dip down toward your arms. Now feel for softening at the back of your throat, back of your heart. As you tweeze your elbows in toward one another, let the breath free up the space between your shoulder blades and bathe the back of your heart in breath. This is another place where you can get in touch with your occiput. Soak breath into the top and the back of your skull. Exhale, feel for letting go all the way down your skull, down your throat, and into the back of your heart. What would letting your guard down look like right now in this pose? It might look like trying just a little less hard. Eagle ostrich. Bring your upper body down with your low belly in. Keep your warrior one legs. So strong legs pressing into the mat through the bottoms of your feet. Inhale and pull the pit of your belly up and spread your sitting bones. Exhale, let your upper body drizzle down as if breath and energy could pour out through the crown of your head onto the mat and then be pulled back up through the bottoms of your feet up into your core and then to be spilled right back out softly and gently again. Clelia, make the back of your neck long. There you go. If this is challenging, that's part of the work, right? Can you allow yourself to stay in those moments? Normally, when things get hard, maybe your normal reaction is to run away because that keeps you safe. Versus maybe those shaky moments are teaching you that you can keep your heart open and stay even when you shake. Maybe just one more breath. Pigeon back bend, hands on the floor. Bring your front leg into pigeon. And then have your hands alongside your torso, maybe a little bit in front. Inhale and pull your heart forward and up. You can use your front shin to very isometrically drag back and your back thigh isometrically drag forward. Roll your outer left hip toward the earth. Inhale, draw the top of your heart up. Exhale, soften the sides of your throat, your jaw, your tongue. You can sway a little from side to side. That might feel good. Step back into down dog without the vinyasa. If you just had to have a vinyasa, I suppose you could have one, but downward facing dog. Crow pose. For those of you who are feeling really sprightly, you could hop from down dog right into crow pose. You could float right into it. For those of you who are like, oh, hell no, crow pose is toes together, knees out wide. Walk your arms back until you're bracing your upper arms against your shins. Then lift your toes, lift your heels, and maybe your heels come up. If none of that is going to happen for you today, you can take Malasana squat. Lift your heart. Yeah, so crow with one leg off the ground or both. Nice, Linda, round your back even more. Yeah, lift your heels to your butt. Whoa. Okay, down dog. Come into down dog. Big, delicious breath into the sides and the back of your heart. Exhale, let your head hang even more down toward the mat. Step your left foot forward into twisting lunge. That starts with your back knee down. So you can watch Albina. It's a little bit like easy twisting lunge, but you go a little deeper. Yeah. So your bottom hand is in a fist. The tip of your elbow is over your, put your tip of your elbow over your thigh. And then top hand, make a pancake flat and press down into both arms. Inhale, lift your hips up, or your ribs up, excuse me. Exhale, dial your top ribs back toward the sky and relax your neck. So Catherine, back knee is down unless it hurts your knee. I've noticed you've been taking care of your knee, so you can have it up. But otherwise, it's a back knee down kind of a vibe. Because we're not working so much on the struggle part, the effort in the legs. We're working more on getting deeper into our twist, so we don't have to worry about what's going on with our legs. Press into your shin and your feet to get support. Draw your low belly back. Inhale, lengthen your bottom ribs. Exhale, turn your heart open, relax your neck. Twisting lunge interlock. It looks a lot like the same pose, but it's a little bit deeper. You could look at Albina. She's using her breath to move her arm deeper and deeper, and then eventually she's bringing her arm underneath the thigh and then the top arm around to make a bind, keeping her back knee down for now. Really press into your shin, and if you feel wobbly, you can move your right leg a little further right. Draw your right hip back. Inhale, lengthen out through your bottom ribs and bring them forward a little bit toward your thigh. Exhale, turn your top collarbone open, relax your neck. Unwind all that joy. Pigeon heel to the butt. So bring your left leg in pigeon. For those of you who are not quite as open as Albina, this might be a pose where the block goes underneath your butt cheek just a little so that you don't fall over. And then reach your right arm back and catch a hold of your foot. She doesn't need it, so I'm not going to put it there, but I'm just going to show you. Okay. So pigeon heel to the butt. You can stay upright, or if you feel pretty okay with it, you can forward fold like Albina's doing. You can also have your left forearm on the ground or your hand on the ground and all the way upright, whatever feels best to you. So this can feel pretty intense. Can you keep the intensity where it needs to be and let go of the struggle, the intensity where you don't need it, like in your jaw, your throat, your upper body? It's already got enough intensity. So can you balance that out with softening? Sometimes we use so much effort that it starts to get in the way of ease. We're doing all the time and we forget what it's like just to be easy and to be natural and to just be. This is a perfect pose to practice that. Release. Release your leg, chaturanga, vinyasa. Up dog or cobra. Down dog. Good news, you have another side. Step your right foot forward into twisting lunge. Back knee is down. Inhale, stretch your left arm up and then hook the elbow tip. Bottom hand is a fist. Make your top hand flat like a pancake. Press down into both arms. Inhale, lift your ribs up away from your waist. Exhale, relax your left ear toward your left shoulder. Turn your right collarbone to the sky. When you twist, it starts to open up your upper body, warming it up for heart opening, and it brings out old, stale ways of operating. For some of us, those old ways of operating are like building walls around our heart, operating out of fear instead of out of love, mainly to feel safe so that we don't get our heart broken. We don't experience pain. Twisting lunge interlock. So it's just a little deeper. You can go halfway, just a little deeper, or you can go so deeply that you can get a bind. If you had a strap, you could take it in your top arm and that could help you make that connection under your thigh, but the connection isn't as important as simply deepening your twist. And you can do that without binding. Draw your left hip back slightly. Good job, Albina. Inhale, lengthen your left ribs away from your waist. Feel your heart opening at the top. Exhale, pull belly in, relax your neck. Soak breath into your heart. Pigeon heel to the butt. Unwind that twist lovingly and come into pigeon heel to the butt. Pigeon with your right leg. You could put a block gently under your right hip so you don't fall over to the right. And then reach back with your left leg, catch your foot. You can stay upright. You can be on your forearm, or you can come all the way down into forward fold. You're opening up your left side hip flexor, which is really great for opening up the front side of your body, opening your heart. So it's the front line of the body opening up. Even in this, what seems like a little bit of a forward fold, you're still opening. Soak breath down into the left side hip flexor. Feel for the breath moving into your hips. Exhale, feel for softening in your jaw, your throat, your tongue, and then maybe all the way down into your hip flexor. Release that joy and simply step into down dog. Down dog. Camel pose is next. Come to standing on your shins. Bring your hands at your low back. Stand up tall. And then you can work it without even reaching your arms back. You can lift your chest and open across the top of your heart. If you're feeling more open, bring your right hand to your right heel and your left hand to your left heel. Lift and spread across the top of your heart. This is an incredibly vulnerable pose. Can you allow yourself to open up even when it's scary? Soften around the top of your heart and root down into your strong legs for support. And slowly come up, hands to sacrum, and then sit your hips back to your heels. Down dog. Come on back into down dog. Step your left foot forward into Archer Warrior One. Warrior One stance. Bring your right arm up and then place your right hand at your upper back. Left hand goes on top of your elbow. Inhale and wrap your right shoulder blade. Stretch up through your right tricep. Exhale, pull your front ribs in and soften both shoulder blades down your back. If you're feeling more open, take your left arm around behind your back and can clasp your hands behind your back in a clasp. Jessica, pull your front ribs in toward your body and expand your back body out. Everyone, make the front of your body concave if you can. Feel for this big opening at the sides of your heart and breathe into the sides of your heart. Lance Dodger is next. Take your left hand, your left forearm, and traction your left side or your sacrum down, kind of reaching for your right hip to draw up, to press your right hip forward. And then take your top hand, your right hand, and you can either have it up toward the sky or you can make it in brain cradling. So you can choose. You can do a brain cradle and then use your left forearm, pull your low belly in and tuck your sacrum down toward the mat, sending your right hip forward. Inhale up into the back of your skull, lift from behind your heart. Exhale, draw your chin into your throat and lengthen out the back of your neck. This is called Lance Dodger, I think, because there's so much going on, and yet, like when the arrows are coming at you, like the Buddhists say, when someone shoots a lance or an arrow at you, don't be there. Don't be there to take the tip of it. Just get out of the way. Release. Twisting pigeon, armpit to the foot. So you might want to watch Albina in this pose. It's a little bit different than your regular pigeon. She's making her front shin parallel to the front of her mat, and she's bringing her back leg in a lot. Then inhale, reach up and hook as much of your arm over your foot as you can, at least the elbow tip. And then just like in that twisting warrior, you've got a bottom arm and a fist, top arm flat. And then if it feels okay, she's stretching her back leg back like regular pigeon and rolling her outer right hip down. So you do that. Bring your left shin parallel to the front of the mat. Flex your toes back. If you cannot get your elbow over your foot, so what? Just take a hold of your foot with both hands instead and bring your sternum toward your foot. That's a great modification. Slide your back leg in to see where you can get first with the twist. So the most important part is the twist. The leg can be in the whole time, or once you have the twist, if it feels okay, you can slide your leg back. Now use the back of your foot pressing into the back of your arm to send energy down into your outer left hip. Inhale down into your left side low back and sacrum. Exhale, reach your tailbone, sitting bones back and down. Relax your neck. If you're having a very advanced day, roll your outer right hip to the ground as you turn your right ribs back. Release. Vinyasa. Inhale, cobra, low cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, down dog. You have another side, yay! Step your right foot forward into Archer Warrior 1. This time your left arm is up. Place your left hand at your upper back, elbow tips straight up. Then you can place your right hand on top. Inhale, float your left ribs, your left tricep, your left elbow up. Exhale, wrap your left shoulder blade toward your armpit and ease both shoulder blades down your back. Some of you might be able to catch your hands or a strap or your shirt behind your back. But that's not really the object of the pose. The object of the pose is to open your heart. So if you spend all of your effort trying to get into what you think you should look like in the pose, you might miss the actual intention of the pose, which is to open your heart. Just like sometimes we do what we think we should do, And we kind of come out in a way, like we even practice sometimes in a way that, oh, this is the way it's supposed to look versus this is actually my offering today. This is what my body can do. And it's good enough. This is who I really am. I don't have to do it differently for somebody else. Do it in a way that feels good, that lets you get access to your heart. Lance Dodger. So your left hand kind of slides, or excuse me, right hand slides down, and then use your forearm or your hand to tuck the top rim of your sacrum down, pull low belly in. Inhale and lift your back bottom ribs up away from your low back. Exhale, open up behind your heart. You can take brain cradling in your top arm to lengthen out the back of your neck and support it. Open the back of your heart. Camille, wrap your left shoulder blade around so that your elbow tip tweezes in toward your forearm a little more, Camille. And now lengthen out the back of your neck. Let your head rest in your arms. There you go. Release. Twisting pigeon armpit to the foot. Bring your right shin, hands down, right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Slide your back leg in a lot. Sit all the way over on your right butt cheek on the outside. Then stretch your right arm up and then hook your elbow. If that's not happening, catch both hands on your feet and pull your sternum toward your foot. Then if it feels okay and you're in the twist, you can start to slide your back leg back. Press your foot into your arm and your arm back into your foot. Flex your foot. Yeah. Flex your front foot so that the feet are active. Inhale, stretch your right ribs long. Exhale, send both sitting bones back and down. Let your head hang heavy. And now drink breath into your heart. You can kind of sway back and forth if that feels good. You can make this a feel-good pose, even though it's intense. Breathe down into your heart right now. Soak a breath into your heart. Soften the sides of your throat and your jaw, and exhale. Send that softening down into your heart. Invite it to open. It takes courage to open your heart. The word courage means heart. Downward facing dog. If you just had to do a vinyasa, you could. Otherwise, just step back into down dog. And then come down and look up here. I'm going to demo your last set of peak poses before we warm down and finish. Your poses are bridge to wheel to Viparita. I'm going to talk you through it. So where you get to is not important. The importance is to stick with the intention. Do what you can today. Bridge. You know that one. You can do supported bridge. You could add a leg lift. Wheel. From wheel, you could move on to Viparita. Your shoulders are warm. Your heart is open. I'm bringing my forearms to the ground like dolphin, interlacing where my ponytail would be, and then head comes off the ground. Then you can stay here, wrapping your shoulders. My head is off the ground. Maybe one leg lifts. Your turn. You have about 15 breaths to play with. So you could do bridge for 5 breaths. You could do wheel for 5 breaths. You could do viparita for 5 breaths. You could do 3 wheels at 5 breaths each. So now you know you have about 15 breaths. Make a plan and then see where your body will take you. Remember to breathe into your heart. Okay. So pick. Everybody do something. Bridge, wheel, viparita. Something that really gets your heart open. We have been very slowly and methodically opening your shoulders, opening your upper back, opening your hip flexors so that you can have access to this big viparita pose. Coaxing your heart open one breath at a time, one movement at a time. Press into your inner feet wherever you are. That's it, Linda. Bring your shoulders more over your elbows in viparita. There you go. If you're adding a leg lift, you bend your knee first, then you lift it. There you go. Nice, Laura. Nice, Linda. Nice, Betsy. If I'm not saying nice to you, you're still nice, still looking good. You got a few more breaths to play with. Don't quit just yet. Awesome, Camille.
Hey, Roger, in the viparita, is the head, it's off the floor, right?
Absolutely off the floor, yeah. So that means you might need to move your elbows closer together. Nice, Albina. My yoga model. You got about 5 more breaths to finish up. So finish up however it feels good. That means you could do one more wheel. Why not? If you're saving yourself for the dance, this is the dance for sure. Okay, now come down. Baddha Konasana on your back. So feet together, knees out wide, reach over with your hands and catch the outsides of your feet. Spread your toes wide, and then you can bring your feet over your bum, over your belly, or over your sternum. And if you're feeling really open, over your face, like Albina's doing. Reach your tailbone and your sitting bones toward the mat, even as you send your thighs away from your torso. If you know Uddiyana, you could do it now. Uddiyana is when you forcefully exhale all the breath out of your mouth, like you're blowing out birthday candles, and you leave the breath out. Tuck your chin, suck the pit of your belly up and widen your ribs and flatten them. Reach your tailbone to the mat, keeping the breath out. Then when you need to take an inhale, you let your belly go, take an inhale. You could do a few rounds of Uddiyana, which can help decompress your low back. You can rock side to side if that feels good. Release. Simple spinal twist. Place both feet on the ground. Move your hips a little bit to the right by picking up your hips and scooching them like 2 or 3 inches to the right. Bring your knees back in. If you want a little bit more, you could wrap your right thigh and eagle legs over your left. Otherwise, knees side by side. And then let your knees move to the left. Another secret little move is I like to pick up my left shoulder and move it further left, shoulder blade further left. Soften your jaw, your throat. Let your breath go soft. Take a long, slow, luxurious breath into the sides of your heart. Exhale, feel for softening your heart. And then to come out, unwind your legs, and then one leg at a time, come back to center. Place your hips back on the ground, feet back on the ground, and then scoot your hips a couple inches to the left. Bring your knees in. You can wrap your left leg over your right if you want, or knees side by side. And then let your knees very lovingly fall to the right. Your arms can be anywhere. If you want, you can slide your right shoulder blade a little further right. Just getting more real estate on the mat. Soak breath into the top and sides of your heart on the left. Your heart is on the left. So this is an opportunity to bathe your heart lovingly in breath. And invite it to open. I like what Brene Brown said about vulnerability. She said sometimes we have to let go who we think we're supposed to be in order to become who we really are. To me, that's about letting your guards down. Letting people see us with all of our imperfections, our perfect imperfections, all of our scars, all of our history, so that they can love us for who we really are. Come back to center. Unwind your legs. Give your knees a big, loving squeeze. Hug everything in. Shavasana. I think aside from camel, this is one of the most vulnerable poses there is. So spread your arms out, shoulders away from your ears, heels away from your hips, and then let your toes splay out. Take a huge breath in. Open your mouth and let all the tension out. Breathe down into your heart. And feel what it feels like physically to have your heart open. To be open. When you open your heart and let people in, there is the risk of getting your heart broken. But there's also the opportunity of falling in love, of real belonging and connection, of acceptance. Those are the gifts of an open heart. Feel those now. Take a big loving breath down into your heart, right into the fibers of your heart. Exhale, feel first softening around your heart. An invitation to open. Now the work is to stay open. To stay open when the world will try to close it off. And things will happen and you'll want to close it. The work is to do the opposite. Keep it open. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch out however it feels good. And then one by one, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big loving hug. You did good work. That was not an easy class, energetically or physically. And then slowly roll toward your screen. And before you come up, just let your belly hang out more than you normally would. And then use your arms to push yourself up to seated. Sit up really tall. If you want, you can make this lotus mudra, or you can make Anjali mudra, whichever feels right to you. Soft bow of your head. I'll share a quote with you from one of my favorite movies, Almost Famous. There's this scene that says, the only currency in this bankrupt world is what we share with one another when we're uncool. Only currency is what we share with one another when we're uncool. To me, that's all about vulnerability. Thank you for allowing us to see you. Thank you for sharing your practice. We're doing it all again tomorrow. Stay open. Namaste.